Good evening, peoples of the interwebs. I'm Judge James.
I'm Judge Evie.
No, she's not. And welcome to Living for Crits.
You're so mean.
I'm not mean. I think it's just a point that we all made at the convention this weekend.
Like who? Who made this point?
There were several of us discussing this, notably myself and Judge Mark from Glowburn, about your lack of judging.
Okay, it's not my fault.
It is a sincere lack of judging and GMing.
It's not my fault.
It is your fault.
I couldn't do this weekend.
Why?
Because I had a bunch of people there.
Where?
At PAX.
And you couldn't GM at PAX because there were people there? That's exactly why you GM in the first place.
No, my friends were there and they didn't want to.
I didn't want to. They played multiple games.
They were very honest.
All right, so here's the drill, folks. All right, we're going to talk about PAX Unplugged. This is our review show. It is the Sunday after PAX. My voice is actually fairly good today because I only GM'd one event, and most of last night was coordinating a big event, but it was a pretty good con, I gotta say. You know, it's funny. It seems like the folks at PAX Unplugged are either, you know, we'll talk about how it's not Gen Con in a negative, or how it's not Gen Con in a positive. I talked to several people that loved it because of what it is, and several that weren't happy with it.
It's a lot bigger than last year.
I think it was. I know that
it's
folks
growing.
that don't like it are because of the GM signups and how challenging that is. And I think they're getting better at that. You see, that's facts.
That's facts.
But it's getting better. Greg's on. So what's cool is so Greg Schwarzkopf's on, and we actually met Greg this weekend in person last night. I wish we had a chance to game together. Greg gave us one of our notable pieces of swag. I should note that Greg gave us an adventure called One Night in Tripoli, which is an alternate history urban fantasy pitting the church militant against Barbary pirates in the year 1800. So, note to Greg, I love alternate history stuff, so that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to reading it. Haven't read it yet, but this is one of. We're gonna discuss swag later in our show tonight. But I wanted to get that one out there. It was really cool to see Greg.
Close?
Sean's on. Woo! Keith's on too.
Yoo!
Rob's on. Scott's on.
Yoo-hoo!
We are wearing some fun hats tonight. So I'm wearing my favorite holiday season Penn State Santa hat because 'tis the season for festive hats. Also, 'tis the season for Penn State. I wore this especially because I got to game with my friend Shannon this weekend. I haven't seen Shannon in like 19 years, and we met at Penn State. And we met through gaming at Penn State because really so many people I meet in my world are from gaming, except for Evie. She just showed up. Oh. Your hat is also special.
Oh my god, okay, so everyone was wearing these hats, and we're like, where the heck did you get the goat things? I don't think this is a goat.
It's not a goat.
Okay, well, we're calling it the goat hats. So
okay, fair enough.
We ran into this one guy last night that we were playing with, and he's like, do you know where these goat hats come from? And we're like, no. And he's like, well, I do. You just have to go up to the booth. They give you a hat, they give you props, and then you take a photo shoot with one of the people dressed up. And we're like, oh my god. So me
3
and...
horns.
It's still goat.
Keith asked how many horns it was.
Oh, 3.
3.
1,
Trois.
2, 3. So we went over to this thing, and they gave me and Gracie a goat hat, and they're like, you got to go get the picture. And so we went the picture, and it was like a photo booth with goat hats. And I need to
but
keep
what's
a
it for?
Hat. I have no idea.
How about you turn the hat around?
Oh, it's for Frosthaven, right?
Yes, the upcoming Kickstarter. It starts and commences in March of 2020.
Yeah.
Now, I would be interested if you played Gloomhaven to give us your take on it. I would definitely love that feedback. I personally like miniatures games. I like miniatures games that I can use my Dwarven Forge with, especially, and all my Reaper Bones with. But I look at a fun game. Wasn't sure if it was a skirmish game or an exploration game or a better game than per se. What was it called? I have the Strahd Castle Ravenloft, which is an okay game. It's fun for a short delve. I have Hero Quest, but is it like those? Is it like its own thing? What is Gloomhaven? Tell us. And would we play it? I saw it's for up to 4 players, which kind of like, cuts out some of the having the whole family play.
Yeah, I did it. trying to get the whole thing in.
Greg mentions Dwarven Forge had an impressive display at PAX. They sure did. We got to go see them a couple times. I almost bought a Dwarven Forge tavern. They had them on sale. Like, I think for all the stuff that came with the tavern, it was $125. But I talked myself out of it. We don't spend that much time in a tavern in our games. And I like huge taverns. And to build a huge tavern, I would have needed a lot of tavern. So we get steer clear of that. But we did get to talk to Nate at Dwarven Forge, the dude with the mohawk, and all their Kickstarter videos. We had a cool and fun conversation. Ooh, Shannon's on. What is up, Shannon? Shannon, I'm wearing this hat for you, man. So, Penn State, represent. Will Keller says it's Gloomhaven. No, Frosthaven is less gloomy, more frosty. Well, how do you know?
Well, it's called Frosthaven.
Okay, fair enough. Keith asks if we have tried Pandemic Legacy. I'm gearing up for season 2 soon. We've never played Pandemic, right? Have you played Pandemic
No.
at the game nights?
No.
We've never played Pandemic.
My old teacher had it in her classroom, but we decided to play Life instead.
Nice.
Yeah, like the kids version.
It seems like a fun game. We just haven't touched it. We own it, so we probably should play it. It was one of those games we bought when we were buying games for our game club. Any game that requires a lot of setup, I usually steer clear of it. So that's why I'm a little leery about trying some of the more complicated games. Like, my favorite games for board games are bluffing games, or like creative card games, like Buy the Rights, or Apples to Apples is kind of like one of those. We can't discuss Cards Against Humanity, but I really like.
Why can't I play that yet?
Play that yet.
All my
We're
friends
not even
play
having
it.
that conversation. That's
John
fine.
doesn't play it. Who
Like,
plays
I really
it?
like Sheriff of Nottingham. That's a bluffing game, so that's a good one.
All my friends play it.
We're not talking about Cards Against Humanity on this show. How about that? Oh, that's a lot of chatter here going.
My friends play it with
their
their
families.
families.
So Judge Sean says Gloomhaven is way better than those you mentioned. So, all right, I'm going to have to watch an actual play of Gloomhaven, I guess. I'll do that. I will take care of that. I do like painting miniatures. There were some cool miniatures in there. It said 17 or 19 classes, though. Do you really need more classes than 7? You really only need, like, what? You need the wizard, the warrior, cleric, thief, halfling, dwarf, and elf. Yeah, you only need 7 classes. Maybe even 3 if we're playing Lankmar. Let's see here. So we got some what?
Nope.
Okay, we're gonna go into part of the show here in a second. But I thought it's important to note that there's a great debate going on right now called "Should Judge Evie be called Judge Evie still?"
I hate this freaking thing. Oh my god.
Because Judge Evie has show everyone what you bought. One of the your mom got for you, the big thing, not the little things, just the big thing. So Judge Evie plays ran Maul at Gen Con last year, and my wife this year, last Gen Con, my wife found Evie a copy of, they can't see it, Maul Madness.
It is Maul Madness.
For use with miniatures. For Maul Death. However, that was the last time you judged a game. Right?
No, it wasn't.
Put this down. Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It's after hours.
Okay, that was the last time. And how many games you plan to run between now and next Gen Con?
More than that?
When? It's years. We're almost there.
No.
Gen Con's almost here, actually.
How many DCC games have you run?
A lot. A lot. At least like 7 or 8.
Okay, well.
Only because I've been running a lot of Savage Worlds this fall. But I've been running a lot of DCC.
And our DCC games.
Yeah, those count. Yeah, but 7 or 8. So I think there maybe should be a poll. Should we be allowed to call Judge Evie still? All right, we're gonna talk. We're patron deity Evie.
Wait.
Patron Evie. All right, we're gonna talk for a moment about PAX Unplugged, but let's talk about Judge Evie Presides first.
Oh,
Although,
cool.
wait, Rob
Ow,
says Anthony
stuck.
picked up a copy of DCC and wants you to run for our group. Dude,
I'm stuck.
Judge Evie will definitely run.
I'm stuck.
Judge Evie would definitely run DCC for the group. So would I, but I think, look at that.
Who are we talking about? What?
Look at that.
I
Maybe.
was stuck in a
Oh, look at that. Scott says occasional DCC player Evie. You are getting slammed here.
Scott, you're no longer my best friend. Scott's
He
no longer my
can't hear
friend.
you. Scott's no longer your friend.
Nope.
That's it. Scott is out.
Work.
Scott's out.
No,
All right.
hey, for you.
Let's talk about let's move into Judge Evie
Bio.
presides. Judge Evie, we have what, 2 questions this week?
Let's preside.
What's cool is tonight we've got several folks who were at PAX Unplugged with us, including Rob, Savage Philly GM. Shannon was there, and Greg was there, and who am I missing here? I think it was everybody.
Okay, well, we have one from...
Say the name, RP Gibberdex.
I don't want to say it wrong.
Just say it. Just say it.
Okay.
They'll correct us if we're wrong.
Okay.
Yo, dudes. Rookie judge strikes again. Thanks for answering all my questions to date. You guys make a great duo. For your amusement, the next question will be in the form of a poem/riddle, to be read as a noble Englishman.
All right, read it as a noble Englishman.
Not exciting is question this numbered 3, but essential knowledge all would agree. When judging DCC, whether short or apogee. Is that how you say it?
I don't know. I guess so.
How much and how quick do you reward players? XP.
It was a good poem.
That was beautiful.
Keep up all the great work and near miss face hits. Thanks, looking listener, Gibberdex.
So Scott's saying not noble nor English nor man.
I was English. I'm English.
All right,
so it sounds English.
What's your take? How often should XP be given?
2 per encounter.
That's like what the rules say, right?
Yeah.
What if you are level 7 and they're a couple hundred XP away or whatever it is? Like whatever it is. Should you still be given 2 per encounter? Should you make it more?
No. Yes. Maybe.
I think you got it right there. I like to use 2 per encounter. I like to use 2 per cool thing that happened, whether it's finishing an encounter or whether it's getting through a tough room. So if your party has to escape from a jail cell, slip past a guard, disarm a trap, and fight a monster, I would say 8. 8 XP. So there we go. Good question, though. Next question. And thank you for sending it in.
Like, most people doesn't know how to use your phone. I'm like,
Read it.
okay, that's long. Hey, Judge Evie. This is from William.
No,
Keller.
keep it going. It's fine.
Hey, Judge Evie.
This is like he sounds.
This is probably a question better suited for Judge James. How does city adventuring in Lankmar compare to more wilderness adventures of Shattered Mountains and Purple Planet? I've been thinking a lot about having small 1 or 2 person adventures in between the main adventures, and that would be much easier to do in a city setting than in the wilderness. And a shout out of sorts, this week I'll be running my 23rd road crew game of the year. Sadly, it will probably be my last one of the year because of the dumb holidays. I just missed the supersized Texas belt buckle. Love the show, even though I don't usually get to hear it live. And that was sent 3 days ago, and then 1 day ago I got this one. Woohoo! Turns out I will. Oh, get it? Because his name's Will, and you put it in there.
Yeah, you got it.
Have one more session before the end of the year. 24 games gets the super giant belt buckle.
I haven't even seen this super giant belt buckle.
What's a super giant
How
belt
big
buckle?
is this belt buckle? I haven't seen the super giant belt buckle. I have a couple belt buckles. You know, I don't really wear the belt buckles.
I have a belt buckle that you gave me.
I think the
but
question
have a
was
belt I don't
about
wear.
having. Where's no question about having 2-player games and.
I have
right.
no idea what the question was about. I did
Give me
not
the
pay
question back.
attention to what I was reading. I
Give
just
me the
kinda
question back.
Made sure I said the words right.
The question was, how does city adventuring and Landmark compare to more wilderness adventures? I like it.
Oh, we got a question.
I know, but let me. You know, it is easier in a city, obviously, to have a side quest than it is in the middle of the Purple Planet, because Purple Planet, the best way in my mind to be dealing with the wastes of the Purple Planet is to be dealing with, you know, food, water, resources, resource gathering. And there's not a lot between those, you know, wasteland towns and fortresses. In Lankmar, you could have a game between, you know, sessions very, very easily. You could have a game with just the 2 players where you're resolving, you know, if one player has to gain some luck back because they've spent all their luck and you want to see what the carousing table generates, and you get something like, you know, woke up, you know, drunk with no equipment in an alley, you can have a 1 or 2 player group just resolve that. Personally, I know that there was that, was it player mode or whatever that was in the Black Cube by Monty Cook Games for what's it called, Invisible Sun, where you meet your players and you discuss stuff off site. Yeah, it's called the carousing table in DCC's Lankmar. Development mode. There you go. Well, guess what? Carousing table handles development mode for you, and it's 1 table, and it's not a cube. So there you go. No hate for the Black Cube. It's a pretty good product, but I really don't understand it still.
Wow.
It's tough. It's a tough cube. Tough cube to get through. All right. So that's
another question.
another question from Judge Sean.
It's a Canadian voice.
Say it in a Canadian voice. Say it as someone who sounds like they're from the cold white north.
Or the Canadian show in Disney World.
Go ahead and do it.
Where's that guy from? I don't know.
Just do
I
it.
don't know his name. I don't know how to play his voice. Spellburn as part of a spell cost, like Find Familiar 10 points. Does it also give you a plus 10 to the spell check? Ha ha ha. I was trying to think of like.
Is Find Familiar 10 points of Spellburn? I think it is. It might be.
Confused. What's a Find Familiar?
It lets you really judge
I'm
Evie.
so confused.
It's where you can summon a creature
Oh,
to
like
do your bidding.
that familiar?
Yes.
Oh, I was really confused about
And the answer is no. If when you're going to use, when a spell requires you to spell burn, for instance, I believe the spell Invoke Patron requires you to spell burn. No, that point does not give you a bonus to your spell
That
check.
came up in Arcane today.
Yeah, it
Takes
does
one.
not come up in your out of your spell check. It's something that you have to you're paying it for the right to cast a spell. What it's there for is to keep you from recasting it over and over and over again. So,
Yeah,
good questions
I
this
came
week.
up with Gracie's character
Oh my god, it's a long weekend.
because she worshipped Clarm the Crispy Killer
Nice.
with a C. Killer with a C.
Let's talk PAX Unplugged. And we're just
did.
gonna freeform this thing.
Talking about Clarm the Crispy Killer.
Well, we're moving out. Oh, if you have a question for Judge Evie or myself, you can ask me a question too, like Will did this week. DCCJudgeEvie@gmail.com, and that's the way to ask the questions. And now we're doing our PAX Unplugged review, and I thought it was awesome.
Smexy.
Smexy.
Yeah.
It was a really fun convention. I think it was more organized this year than last year. There was more to do, and it was just, I don't know, it's more laid back than Gen Con, that's for sure. But not as laid back as Gary Con.
Can't relate.
Aw. I can't relate this next year either, so that's sad.
Where'd you been?
So what did we do Friday? What'd you do Friday at PAX Unplugged?
Well, I got there at 7 in the morning.
On Friday?
Yeah, I got there at 7 in the morning.
On Friday?
Yes.
On Friday.
Went to first period. Got some pictures from Mom.
That's right.
At lunch, I was talking to Brendan and Mom through text.
That's right.
Then at the end of the day, got some more pictures. Then around like 11 o'clock at night, you guys came back.
I think Anti-Superman is Mike, and he said it was great. He must be talking about that first period on Friday. We left the kids home on Friday, and it was marvelous.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Jen and I went to the convention by ourselves. We had to go late because of work, but we got to hang out and just see some friends, look around the rooms. I think we got there. Oh, yeah. That's pathetic. We got there and got to see some of the rooms that were in there and some of the areas like the expo hall where they had the games set up, and we went to booths, bought a little bit of stuff on the first day. We like Mall Madness.
Mall Madness. It's so big.
In addition,
Look, it's you, Dad.
I did some shopping.
Oh, wait. It's you. No, you're this one.
My first purchase of the convention was I finally got Creek Scrag Creep. You know, the Lankmar holiday module was sold out by like 4 o'clock when I got to the convention hall. So that was crazy. But they had Creep Scrag Creep, which is a zero-level adventure by spooky Stephen Newton. And it takes place on a pirate ship, I believe. So I'm pretty geeked to try this. This is a pretty cool find. Even though I know it's been out and it's probably not too hard to get right now. It's one of the adventures that I've been interested in getting. I've been looking for more zero-level funnels for DCC because I've run, I think, all of my zero-level funnels that I own. With the exception of Hole in the Sky. I still haven't run Hole in the Sky yet.
You've got to find one that can go house hunter shopping.
I can do what?
Go house hunter shopping. You got to find an adventure that fits house hunters.
Oh, okay. A question, I think from Mike there. Evie, when are you running Mall Madness DCC edition?
No idea. It looks so good.
Gen Con this past summer had something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she bought it for DCC. That's why she got it.
And I'm just gonna play it
because the Mall was a zero-level adventure for the American Survival Guide / Crawling Under a Broken Moon, and she's run that several times.
You've read Mall. It's not like how I run it.
No, you
I've
run it
changed
different.
literally everything.
Okay, good with yawning. So pathetic. That night, we got to hang out with some people that I haven't seen in a while. One is
out with the couch.
With couch. One is Judge Mark Plord from Glowburn. We had just recorded this past week, so there'll be a new Glowburn coming soon, holiday edition. And the other person we met with is my good friend Shannon, who I haven't seen again in like 19 years. And which is absolutely like nuts that it's been so long. It didn't feel that long. I think partially because we talk online so much, but it's been a very long time. We went to a place called Bear Burger for dinner, and Bear Burger has like a 2-sided menu. One side is in red and it's for omnivores, so you can get a bison burger, and the other or bacon fries, and the other side has a vegan menu. So I got it was like a black bean burger in a collard green wrap, and it was awesome. And we had these waffle fry nachos, and those were awesome. And you would have liked them a lot. And you didn't get to go, Bear Burger. So Saturday, let's discuss. Oh, and then we got to play. We came back and we played Space Gloom for a while, and that was a good time. So yeah, dinner was fantastic. More Dane and Shannon. So that was Friday night. You know, it was a laid back night. Good way to start a con. I really liked.
Very laid back.
I liked starting a convention out in a more relaxed pace.
Is it just because I'm not there?
Being in a convention with children can stress you out.
We are not children. We are teenagers.
You are children.
We are civilized teenagers.
Civilized, maybe.
Really?
No.
Okay.
So Saturday, We got to the convention early Saturday, not long after they were letting people in, just starting to let people in. It was like 10:30. The line was huge. Like you have to wait a long line to get in PAX Unplugged because they have metal detectors, and so that's a bit of a challenge getting in.
It moves really fast though.
Somewhat.
It moves very fast.
You're walking.
Being at a
Blank can be exhausting. A convention?
If it's
Now you're
convention,
yawning.
then you
Now we're both.
No, it has to start with a vowel. What's the
I don't think we're this tired for our Gen Con wrap up.
Wait, A-E-I-R-U, because it said and. So it's like an A-E-I-R-U thing?
Let's discuss Saturday. What did you do Saturday first? Because we got there and we went into like shopping mode a bit. What did you do?
Oh, yeah. So we entered the hall and John ran to dice. So John has a dice addiction. I think he left the convention with 6 new sets of dice.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he went to this ice cream dice place and he got these snazzy like purple and like white and sparkly clear dice things. He got those. And then it was broke. So there was that. That was fun. Then we waited for him. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's looking at more dice. So then we were waiting around. And that took like a whole hour and a half just to get those dice. So then we went to get lunch.
We got lunch as well. We got a late breakfast. We went to Reading Terminal Market. That really is, I think I've said it before, my favorite thing about PAX Unplugged's food options is it's right next to Reading Terminal Market.
We went in there, but we were too paranoid to ask the people what we like to tell people
Lame.
what we wanted.
Lame.
No, we went in
Lame.
and we stood around for around 25 minutes saying who was gonna go order our food.
They would totally just giving you food.
We were so scared. We know because it was like we didn't know if it was just sit down or like was takeout too.
There's no tables there. It's barely any sit down to be had. So you have to just take out.
We didn't know what happened. Okay. It had to sit. It had to sit
During
down.
our shopping, I picked up more dice. I have the Gem Teal DCC dice now. I like
All my
having extra
shopping
sets so that I can have sets for players that come who
these
don't have
new?
dice. Rob, Savage Flay GM, played Legend of the Five Rings at 10 a.m. How did you get in the place at 10 a.m. to play, though? Did the doors open earlier than 10?
Oh, I'm not done with my story.
Well, but your story stinks.
That's not true.
When did
So
you finally
then-
play that day?
We played at the Savage. The Savage.
That was that night. Didn't you play
Saturday.
Wait. Didn't you play earlier than that?
No.
I think you played something earlier than that.
No. Oh no, we played some board game.
Oh, you can get in at 8 o'clock? I didn't know that.
We played a board game.
What'd you play?
We played this game called Yeah No, but we didn't understand it, so we made up our own rules with the cards.
Was that in the board game library sign-out area?
We
That's
used
cool.
John's middle school ID to get a board game, and the guy just kind of stared at us.
That's cool. Hey, it was something. We did a lot of prep that afternoon after having a late breakfast, early lunch in the market. I was kind of nervous for getting off Savage Saturday night. I was worried about getting that thing going, but it ended up being pretty great. We had 13 GMs. We only had 11 tables. Unfortunately, we were a little short in players, but we were almost full. So we let the GMs that had only a couple players in there join other tables and be playing.
Oh, I got dice.
You should call this Yawn. This is the Yawn episode. Well, let's discuss Savage Saturday Night first.
I got dice for that.
Okay. We
I don't get it.
I did not run anything. So once we got, Rob, who's watching right now, he ran Last Parsec, which looked fantastic. There was cheering going on at his table. Mike, so Anti-Superman, he ran a really cool superhero game. Also much cheering going on. Our friend Dennis, he was going nuts. He was GMing this awesome, crazy. He was it was East Texas University, but they must have been forming a band or something, and he was like stomping all about the room. I mean, he was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome to watch, especially from a distance. Seriously Sarcastic 22, who I'm not sure who that is, but so let me know, and so I can figure out who that is I'm talking with. Shopping mode in the morning and played Bulldogs, the Fate Core system, in the afternoon. Lunch and then Savage Saturday.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, Mike, we got the video of Dennis linked here. Oh, sweet. I got some video of Dennis as well.
It's sparkly.
Do you want to show those off?
Yeah.
Our friend Rin from the Del Val Savages, they ran a game for the kiddos, and it looks like
I could think the light hit.
they gave out dice.
Yeah. They gave us dice. Like, they're at the seat. They're smexy.
It was Rin's first time running a game at a convention as well, and Rin did it at Savage Saturday Nights. So, like, booyah for kicking off with the group.
Woo!
I gotta thank Rob though. So Rob, anytime you see Savage Philly GM, Rob did an awesome job helping he did a lot of the coordinating for the event as well, as did Mike, who's on here. So I
Mike's
have
on here?
major hats off to them. Super hats off to what?
Which one's Mike?
Which ones?
You said Mike's on here.
Mike is anti-Superman. But one great thing Rob did was Rob wrote an adventure that he wasn't going to run at the con for like a pulp 1930s thing for other GMs to play in it. And that adventure killed off Gracie's character, our friend Gracie, which is fantastic. Which one is Evie? Oh, purple or black or both? Which one is Evie?
I have.
Oh, he's messing around because you didn't know which one Mike was. I think what she meant was she didn't know which name on the left. She doesn't know who Anti-Superman is. Oh, you blocked her. There you go. No, he isn't like Superman.
What did I do?
Sean has a broken dice tube for DCC dice. Any idea how to find a replacement? You want a dice tube? I mean, you can email us. I'll send you one of mine. Are you sure you really want a dice tube? Like, dude, you cover shipping. I'll send you a dice tube. I don't care. I don't keep them. So, if you really want one, email dccjudgeevie@gmail.com and I'll send you one. Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. I don't keep them. So, like, I got a bunch. I just throw them away.
Well, I guess I'm blocked now.
He's messaging with you. Clint Black was at our game. Carl Kiesler was at our game. Dom Zook was at our game. So we had like some famous Savages there. That was pretty cool.
Were you just, like,
I didn't run crap.
No. Like, were you just like chilling?
I just chilled.
Just chilling?
It was great. I chilled.
I'm chilling.
I chilled.
Vibing. I'm just chilling.
I chilled.
I'm
I was
chilling.
prepared to run an East Texas University game where the players start out as fantasy characters with Richard Wilcox fantasy archetypes. And a half hour into the game, they end up getting summoned by accident into a East Texas University dorm room by a summoning spell cast accidentally by a dungeon master in a D&D game.
Wait a sec. That sounds familiar.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
And I'll do it again.
What's her face did it in our game?
Yeah, that again. Dude, I pulled. That's my vibe. That's what I do.
You vibing?
I'm vibing. Rob said it was cool to talk with Jody Black and Carl Kiesler. They are great individuals to hang with. I hung with Jody like all night. We just kind of sat there and talked, and it was so much fun.
Oh, Dale Dogfoot, he always put his input.
You're singing the Dale Dogfoot song now?
Yeah, I know the tune of it. I just know like the oh, Dale Dogfoot, he always put his input.
After that event, we went home. Right? And the next morning was today. And I kicked off today.
Some crappy Disney movie.
I kicked off today running
Was it Netflix movie?
running DCC Star Wars with why did this come up? Weird. And that was a pretty cool table. Mike was there. There was Mark was there. Shannon was there.
This morning.
I'm not talking about you yet. What about me right now?
Sorry.
Mark gave me aquarium stuff for my Frostgrave games. So it was kind of cool.
Snazzy.
The Star Wars game was a riot. A great group of players for it. DCC handles Star Wars really well if you're willing to play kind of fast and loose with the mechanics and not take anything too seriously and not worry too much about asking for a spell check instead of an astromech droid roll. And Ewok halflings, that's the easiest reskin ever. What did you do today?
So, I have no idea what the adventure call Brendan ran was.
Brendan LaSalle ran it. There was, 9 of you playing, right?
There was 9 of us. Well, because there were 2 sign-up sheets, so he thought no one signed up, so it was just us 4. Then he got there, and he was like, I guess there was another sign-up sheet, and 5 people signed up, so it was a game of 9 people. It was the people that were signed up before, had, their ideas, and then there was us 4. And we were kind of, crazy, and it was very interesting. Anyway, so, basically, the biggest role, though, was, so Gracie was trying to cast Magic Missile, because she's like, what do I do? And I'm like, well, there's a giant dragon, so you should cast Magic Missile. And she's like, okay. And so she spell burned 20 points. And so she got 32. And then she did 99 damage on it. So, yeah, that was that. That was fun. Yeah. That was the big thing in that game.
Okay.
There's that. Should I say what we all did that day?
What we all did this day?
Let's go through the entire Sunday.
What?
Well, you said what you did in the morning, right?
That's my morning.
Okay, can I say everything? Because it's really fast.
Sure.
Okay, so that after we did that, we went upstairs and we went into the hall. And we went into the hall and we walked around, and I think John bought more dice. Yeah. So he bought more dice, and there was that. And then went to go eat, and then we ate. And then we were going to go to Reading Terminal Market, but then we were too paranoid to order again, so we said no. So then we went to Panera, and then we started playing these games. We played what are the odds? And John lost, so we were trying to get him to go down. So there was this metal wall, and so we made him go down behind the metal wall and jump up and down 5 times and say Soy Dora. So there was that. And then there was that, and then we went back to the convention after walking down and doing a bunch of stuff in the city.
7 sets of dice by now.
Yes, it's bad. And then we went back.
It's a lot of dice.
In the convention center, and then we went to the diversity lounge, and then we were we're chilling, because yeah, we wanted to get more ribbon thingies, so we went there, and then we were we want to go get dice bags. So then me and Maggie and John, we all went to go get dice. Well, they wanted dice bags, and I just kind of went along with it. So we went back in, and guess what? We got more dice. But this time, we got dice that, fit our characters. So I got Eliana some dice. Not Eliana. I keep saying her name. I got Betty. These are Betty dice, right?
Why?
Because they're red and black. And I just really liked them, and I thought they looked kind of like Betty. So they're snazzy. Oh, I can't give them to... Okay, so we got that. John got more dice. And then I went and... Oh, I did that picture thing. So then I went to the place with the tea dragon.
Show it off.
Yeah. The tea... Wait, what is it called? Yeah, the Tea Dragon Society.
Show it.
And stuff. And so I got this little guy. This is my child. Very soft. I still need to name it, and John keeps stealing him. It's not okay. So I did that.
We have comments.
We do? Okay, I can read them later. I'm reading them later. Then, while we were doing that, did you go with Mom to get the shirt?
Yeah.
So I got a PAX shirt. I'm gonna wear it to school tomorrow, and I wanted it in a size bigger because I want to be Visco. Yeah. This is PAX. And so I got that. And then we went over to look at the really expensive dice. So we walked over there, and they're like, and this nice girl comes over to John, and she's like, "Hi, you looking for anything?" And John goes, "I guarantee you, I have not enough money to purchase any of these." We all walked away, and she kind of like, no. So then I looked back at her, and she was like whispering in someone else's ear, like looking at us, and we're like. These the level up dice. They were so expensive. And they're like, do you want to, like, hold them? Or, like, buy, are you interested in buying any? And we're like, no, we're good, thank you.
How much were they?
They're like $100 over that. They're like over
Some
that.
expensive dice.
Yeah, then went to this other dice place.
$100?
That's what one of them was. We went over to this other place.
What happens? What happens if Mike says, do you not let the people at Level Up Dice sell you dice? Bad things happen? How bad could the things happen?
They sell you. They went to other dice places.
I guess the question is really, do they have metal D7s?
No, they do not.
Do they have real dice?
No, so we went.
I have seen your dice, sir. I have.
Yeah. No, so we went to this other dice place, okay? So we saw the same.
Wait a second. Scott just said, I want to set Level Up. Paid $175 for him. Sick, I know. Look, I'm the dude that's got enough Dwarven Forge to buy a used car, okay? If I could just sell it at cost. But crap, man. That's a lot for dice.
We went over to this other dice place, but they looked and felt the exact same as Level Up dice. But they were so much cheaper. They were only $40. So we went over and we're like, this is great. And so they had dice set blind bags where it's like you got like a whole dice set and it was in a blind bag. So Maggie and John both got one. So this is like John's like sixth set of dice, or seventh. I think he had 7. So he got one, and I think his were like blue. And then Maggie was looking at 2 sets of dice at this these type of dice places. And the set that she didn't get at this dice place, she got in the blind bag. So she ended up getting both. And it's really cool. So she got those.
It's only one set of dice anyone really needs.
That's true. So then after that, we went over to go. We were walking around. We were trying to find the Goodman booth. I don't care. We were trying to find the Goodman booth, but we're like, what the heck? Where is it? Like, we literally walked around up and down trying to find the Goodman booth, and we just kind of gave up because we looked for like 30 minutes and we couldn't find it. I looked even where it was, and I couldn't find it. Okay, I don't care what the question is.
I'm going to.
Hey!
All right, so we have some comments here. We're going to go back, all right?
There's so many.
So, first off, Rob says, I'll be running Savage Star Wars on January 12th. I'm going to guess that is at our event for the Delaware Valley Savages. And I will say this. I will guarantee it'll probably be a great time, but I also will guarantee that your Savage Worlds eventually will probably not end with the party watching Bishop from Alien get ripped in half while a zombie Rancor climbs off the ship right in front of Guy Fieri's new barbecue restaurant at Tashi Station. Because that's what happened in my game. No exaggeration.
Can I continue?
No.
Please?
You're done. That's the end.
No, I'm not.
We picked you up at that point.
No, you did not. So then we walked around back and forth, and we sat down, and we set a timer. We set a timer for 5 minutes because we were going to sit down, but then we ignored the timer, and then we went back. We walked back and forth,
the cure was
and back and forth, back and forth. And then we found this giant elevator. There was like the biggest...
The escalator.
You
don't have to tell...
We saw the biggest...
You're taking this one...
escalator.
All right, it's 9:45.
I don't care.
Yeah, but I know, but you're taking this a little too far.
But they're loving this.
No, they're really not. I think let's put your story on hold here.
My story's beautiful.
No,
though.
we're good.
Hey,
we're good. We're gonna end your story here because
it's very detailed. You told us to do a lot of stuff, so we did.
I know, but you don't have to tell them about the escalator riding.
It was the best escalator.
And yes, the Cure was playing. And the oh yeah going on there was because we had Macho Man Randy Savage in our game.
See, okay, so so we went on the escalator, and
all right,
so they were let's go on the escalator, but then they didn't go on. I was stuck on the big escalator by myself.
We're good. We've heard enough.
I was stuck on by myself.
Is there anything else?
He's on the edge of his seat.
The dice story was fine. Look at that.
That part wasn't even about me.
Oh well. Was there any purchases you made at the con?
Yes,
I got this.
What is this?
Yo, anything else? We're wrapping up here. It's the end of the show. It's 9:45. We're gonna end this right now. Because after that'll happen. We went home.
No, we walked back. Then we got in an elevator.
Are there any road crew shout-outs tonight?
Then we got in the car and we drove away.
Because every Monday night, right? Where's the road crew shout-outs? Because you have the one, right? Sean.
Yeah.
Doesn't Sean have one every week?
Yeah.
Yeah, D6 games in Minnesota.
Mondays at 6.
Mondays
People
at
of
6.
the pit. People
in
in
Rochester.
The pit, not out of the pit.
People of the pit. All right? So get out there. This is only a 30-minute show, according to Keith, until Judge Evie starts telling stories.
Can I continue?
No.
Aww.
All right, moving on.
But I was
Where to
vibing.
find
I was
us?
straight
At I Live
vibing.
for Crits on Twitter. Living for Crits on Instagram. Search Living for Crits on YouTube for the long category. If you enjoyed the show, like, comment, and subscribe if it's on YouTube. If this is on Twitch, I promise we'll try to keep it to 30 minutes more
This
frequently.
is a great story I was telling.
It sucked. All right.
Did you do this?
The final notes. So we may be off on the 22nd. We'll know next week.
No, we're doing it from Disney.
We will find out. We'll discuss that later, but that might be off.
Is the next time we do this show?
No,
it's not.
No, it won't be.
2 times.
So anyway, yeah, take it over to the Discord voice channel. There you go. Good. Okay, go over. Then fine. Then go do that.
I will.
Good.
Right after
All right.
this.
So after this, Judge
How do
Evie.
I use that?
Haha.
I'll figure it out. I'll ask John how
All
to
right,
use it.
here we go. We're going to wrap this up here with a bit of outro ASMR. And I'm just going to say, Bear Burger.
This one is going to be great.
I think Greg came on late. I do want to say, Greg, if you watched the beginning of the episodes, you jumped on a little late, I think it was. I did give you a quick shout for One Night in Tripoli. But I'm just tossing out there now. We're going to give it back to Evie to see if she can do this. Oh, you heard. Cool.
I can definitely do this.
You can do this?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah, okay.
You know, there was a bear that was
I was about
loose.
to do it. I was about to do it.
There was a bear loose in Delco recently, and it's in Delaware now.
It's on someone's back
in
doorstep.
Wilmington. Yeah. All right, here we're going back to Judge Evie to see if she can do this again. Here we go. One of my favorite things at Bear Burger was actually the pickles. The pickles were pretty good. I enjoyed them, and they were kind of pricey for pickles, but it's a low calorie snack. Wait, here we go.
I'm just vibing. I'm straight vibing. I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Good night, everyone.